Welcome. Today we're going to take a look at the non-normal procedure for the loss of hydraulic system A. We're descending on the ERN to arrival and passing 26,500 feet.
My aircraft.
Got a hydraulic annunciation.
Both engine-driven pump number 1 and electrical motor-driven pump number 2, which pressurize hydraulic system A, show low pressure, so the pilot flying calls for the
Loss of system a checklist.
The autopilot has disconnected, so autopilot B is engaged. The pilot monitoring checks the quick reference card for the procedure, where applicable, then looks in the quick reference handbook, QRH. The procedure is found in the index and directs us to go to page 13.2. The checklist shows what indications there are for this condition and matches the illuminated lights on the overhead panel. The pilot monitoring reads the checklist title and condition, seeking input from the pilot flying whether they believe this is the correct checklist or not.
Loss of system A checklist. Condition: hydraulic system A pressure is low. Do you agree?
I agree.
The pilot monitoring can now get to work on the checklist.
Step 1. System A. Flight control switch. Confirm.
Confirm.
Standby rudder. Step 2. System A. Hydraulic pump switches both off. They're off. Inoperative items. Autopilot A and up. Autopilot B is available. Flight spoilers 2 on each wing and up. Roll rate and speed brake effectiveness may be reduced in flight. Normal landing gear extension and retraction in up. Manual gear extension is needed. Ground spoilers in up. Landing distance will be increased. Alternate brakes in up. Normal brakes are available. Engine 1 thrust reverser normal hydraulic pressure in up. Thrust reverser will deploy and retract at a slower rate, and some thrust asymmetry can be anticipated during thrust reverser deployment. Normal nose wheel steering in up. Alternate nose wheel steering is available. Step 3. Check the non-normal configuration landing distance table in the advisory information section of the Performance in Flight chapter. Step 4. Nose wheel steering switch. Alt. It's set to Alt. Step 5. Plan for manual gear extension. Note: when the gear has been lowered manually, it cannot be retracted. The drag penalty with gear extended may make it impossible to reach an alternate field.
The pilot monitoring's job is not only to read and perform the checklist, but also to communicate important details to the pilot flying. In this case, the pilot monitoring needs to know the pilot flying understands when the gear is down, it's not able to be retracted again, and we may be committed to the airport we're landing at.
Step 6. Checklist complete except deferred items. Would you like those now?
Yes, continue.
Deferred items. Descent checklist. Pressurization, landing altitude. Recall. Checked. Auto brake set to 2. Landing data. VREF 154, minimums 322 set. Deferred items checklist on hold for approach briefing.
I can brief the approach now. What are your threats on the approach?
We've lost hydraulic system A, so roll rate is affected, and speed brake effectiveness, which may be a factor for speeds on the arrival, and any ATC assigned speeds. We'll also need time to manually lower the gear, and once lowered, we can't retract it. Also, the landing distance is increased without ground spoilers. The engine 1 thrust reverser is going to operate slower, and there may be some thrust asymmetry.
Okay, I agree. Let's plan to slow earlier and advise ATC if unable to meet any of the speeds on the arrival or are slow to meet an assigned speed. I'll call for the gear early enough for you to manually extend it. And we've checked the non-normal landing distance. So, we're expecting the ILS to runway 24 right. Chart 11-6, February 2nd, 2024.
That's what I have.
Frequency 108.5. 251 degrees inbound. Kobe at 2200. Down to 322, with a touchdown elevation of 122 feet. MSA 7700 to the north, 4200 to the west, and 2700 to the southeast. If we go missed, we'll climb to 2,000 feet and hold as published. Bear in mind, we will be unable to retract the gear. ALSEF lighting system, with PAPI on the left. We need visibility of 1,800 feet, or half a mile, which we have. The runway is 8,926 feet long, longer than our non-normal landing distance assessment. It'll be a left turnoff with a runway to cross and hotspot. Any questions or additions?
None. Approach briefing completed. Descent checklist complete. Approach checklist. Altimeters 2994. Nav aids set. Approach checklist complete. Next, manual gear extension checklist.
Manual gear extension checklist.
Manual gear extension checklist. Landing gear level off. It's off. Manual gear extension handles. Pull. The up lock is released when the handle is pulled to its limit. The related red landing gear indicator light illuminates, indicating up lock release. Wait 15 seconds after the last manual gear extension handle is pulled. Landing gear lever. Down. It's down. Manual gear extension checklist complete. Landing checklist to go.
Continue.
Landing checklist. Cabin secure. It is secure. Engine start switches continuous. Landing checklist. Cabin secure. It is secure. Engine start switches continuous. They set to continuous. Speed brake armed. It's armed. Landing gear down. It's down.
Down.
Flaps 30, green light.
30, green light.
Landing checklist and loss of System A checklist complete.
Approach lights in sight. Continuing.
Approaching minimums.
Autopilot's off.
100. Minimums. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
In this video, we ran the non-normal checklist for a loss of hydraulic system A. Please click like if you enjoyed, and please subscribe to learn of our future videos when we'll learn more about the 737. Thank you.